Say hello shortly about the band. Så du starter med at sige hello, og hvad du hedder og hvad du spiller på, Stefan, så?
Hello, my name is Stefan and I'm the drummer boy.
Hello, my name is Kel and I'm a singer and a guitarist.
And my name is Lars and I play bass in Jerkstore.
About the Great Time Robbery. This is the Great Time Robbery, our 6th album, and it was released the 15th of November. We wrote it for I think 2 or 3 years, starting around 2014, and we commenced recording in 2017, and it was mixed last year. We were so lucky to have Machine, the producer, mix it for us. So we are very satisfied with the result. It's come out a really great way for us, I think. There's 11 songs spanning from some quite heavy songs like, for example, In the Blood, where there's a lot of screaming and metallic riffing going on, and then we have more melodic moments like Blindness and a song called The Search Will Never End. I think it's a great varied album. Variety is king, and there's quite a few catchy choruses as well, so very happy with this. Next question. Behind the lyrics. Lyrically, we're sort of dealing with a lot of the hardships of modern living, you know, finding meaning in existence, having to face the reality of social media, the constant pressure that various media agendas is pushing on people's everyday lives, that sort of thing. There's also a semi-political slant in some of the songs where the power of the people versus the power of corrupt politicians is at play. So a lot of different topics is being handled on the album. There's not a theme to this album as such. Behind the cover art. Well, the cover was something that we had the title, The Great Time Robbery, and we sort of brainstormed a bit about how could we go ahead and sort of make an imagery that would go along with the title. And we had a beach just nearby where we went down, Lars and I, and Lars handled the camera, and we sort of had the idea for hands where time was slipping through sand, like sand, grains of sand through fingers. So that was sort of the thought behind the shot, and I think it came out pretty well. About cooperation with Antichrist Records, what's your personal opinion about such labels who take money from bands to release their album? And do you think it's important to have a label deal these days at all?
Well, we have a fine relationship with Antichrist Records, and yeah, the idea of paying a label to get exposure, well, not all bands have a large following, and that's kind of required to release it on your own. So a label can bring you to the masses, and that's why we signed with a label instead of just releasing it on our own. We've done that previously and with mixed results, because you need a label to get a good distribution and such things, and they also have context for radio and magazines and stuff like that. So it's quite important to have a label. It's not enough just to put your album out on Spotify and set up a store for your own LPs or CDs. So that's why we went with the Artgate Records.
About planning tours gigs. Well, unfortunately, we had 2 gigs that were cancelled, both with the Obsessed this year, and we're looking to do some shows. It will probably not be extensive touring because we all have day jobs, but we're looking to get some shows that will make sense for us to play. We're probably doing something our hometown, and if opportunity rises, we will take a look at it. But we're not going to take a 2 or 3 month tour of every toilet in Europe. That's not on the agenda. Some epic fail moments during live performance. Well, one that springs to mind to me was in 2002. We were playing a very prestigious show at a festival in Denmark called Spot Festival, and we were about to go on, and it was nearing the time that we were supposed to start playing, and the conferencier asked me if we were ready, and I looked around and I couldn't see our 4th guy, Henrik. He wasn't on stage, and I told her, well, we need to have our other guitar player on stage before we are ready. And we waited a couple of minutes, and she just told me, well, are you ready now? I said, no, we haven't got our 4th man yet. She said, well, I can't wait, I'm going to present you anyway. So she went on and presented us, and here's Jerkstore. And since he wasn't there yet, we just stood and stared. And we had quite a few spectators, because it was a very well visited festival. So it was a bit awkward standing on stage, having been presented and not commencing with playing. And then 2 or 3 minutes passed, and Henrik got on board on the stage, and he had been to the toilet to take it down. So it was 2 or 3 minutes of immense awkwardness. Recent heavy music album that impressed you a lot, and why? And I think Lars has brought along some.
One of the albums that made an impression on me was this one. It's Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes. The album is called End of Suffering, and it is a collection of great rock songs, very melodic, but also with a punkish attitude sometimes. It kind of reminds me of Queens of the Stone Age with a punkish twist and British accent. Really good songs. Another one is this, We Lost the Sea. It's mainly instrumental music, so you have to be patient to get the rewards from this album. Also because the songs tend to be more than 10 minutes long, so really great album. The last one I picked was the new Misery Index. This is just pure death metal. Great songwriting, great energy. If you have the chance to see them live, go do it. They're great live bands as well.
And I actually think that's a point in the variety that Lars showcased here, because we looked to a lot of different music, and I think that showcases in our songs as well. So I think the not being narrow-minded is a great way to actually get out and listen to some great music. If you're narrow-minded, you're going to restrict yourself from listening to some great albums. The whole plans for the near future. Well, at the moment we've released 4 videos for the Great Time Robbery, and we have a few more in the pipeline. I think we'll continue as long as we can come up with ideas for music videos this time around, because we spent so much time and effort on this one. So I think we'll try to make it run as long as it can on that tank of gasoline. And we'll probably, I hope we'll get into writing some new songs in the following year. We have a 25th anniversary of playing together next year, and I think it would be really great to do an anniversary show locally. That'd be awesome, so we're looking into that as well. Yeah, a lot on the table. So thank you for the interview, and I hope you will check out The Great Time Robbery if you have the chance. It's on all streaming platforms more or less, and it's also in a physical format as a compact disc. So yeah, bye. Det var sådan set bare det.